as an artist.
Coming soon to this theater.
Somebody loves Emily too much.
He came back. He had a knife. It's awful.
Hello? Oh, gee. Listen.
There is no privacy. There is no safety.
I can't live here anymore. I can't.
The terror will follow you home.
Hi, Jenny.
Windows, rated R.
Have you ever really watched the night? Looked into the darkness and think you've seen something? Night Watch. The suspense hit of Broadway is now a movie. Night Watch, starring Elizabeth Taylor, Lawrence Harvey. Night Watch, a Joseph E. Levine and Brute Productions presentation. You'll have this nightmare every night for the rest of your life. Night Watch, an AFCO Embassy release, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Ooh, it just makes me tingle to hear AFCO Embassy.
Oh, I heard Joseph Levine's name and the hair on the back of my neck went straight up. It was like, yes. Tell us about AFCO Embassy, please. Well, we're back.
Welcome back.
Bill, first timer. What did you think?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yes.
I have to say. This movie was everything I hoped it would be and way, way more. I don't know. Where to begin? It was literally anything that they could fit into a movie. Within the first couple seconds, there were boobs. And I couldn't believe how mean they were to the... First of all, they took those women and sold them into like some kind of slavery. And then the one that they didn't want to buy, they killed her. Yeah. They left her there on the island, and the locals killed her. I'm like, God, where do these people live? And then all of a sudden, there's this intrigue, and were they mercenaries? Were they like the A-team? What's going on there? There was Hitler with a rocket launcher, and suddenly there were zombies, and you guys were totally right about the fighting. It was just totally... It was hard to take any of it seriously, except for the guy that kind of resembled and fought like Jackie Chan. So, I don't know. He was actually really good. I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant.
Jenny said, why do the women for food have to also be pretty? That's because of the infamous foreign investors that demand these things. They say, if we're going to put money into your movie, these are the things we need to see. We need to see Camille Keaton naked in the bathroom, standing on a toilet. Pay her in cash. She was paid in cash.
Why was she doing that?
She got paid cash for the brief moment she's in this movie.
No, I don't mean why did she take the role as an actor. I just mean, why was her character doing that?
I want a side story. Again, I always say, let's make an HBO extended series of this. If we expanded these 10 movies in one movie to like a whole season, there would be like 2 or 3 episodes of just like a bottle episode of just her. Like, what's going on with her? Why is she there? How did she get there? If we did this like Lost, where suddenly we would do like a cut, like, how did she get to the island? What happens to her afterwards? Did she live? Like, a lot of questions.
And this movie is kind of less Lost and more Gilligan's Island.
Never have more true words been spoken on this. John, yes. It is. If the professor liked to get girls naked and kick people in the face, yes. Yeah. If the sequel had been made with Jonathan Winters, I can't even tell you if you add Jonathan Winters to this mix, would it spoil the brew? I don't know. And yeah, I agree with Jenny. So many naked women want to learn about ninja history.
That's a really funny comment.
They do. Who knew that ninja history is able to get you in?
Yeah, there was the one girl was like disco pretty, but she could sure fight.
Yeah.
And she got the one behind the tombstone and strangled him.
Yeah.
Goon. He deserved it.
Yeah. I don't want AI movies to happen, but if they are going to happen, making a sequel to this with AI, there's a lot of people I would add to it. Obviously we'd get better fighters. I think you can put a Bruce Lee in this, not Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee, or Bruce Lee. You could put one of them in it. Bill, who would you put in this movie? I can guess who might fit into this.
Aldo Ray.
Yeah, of course. He could be another boat captain that has a strange encounter with Cameron Mitchell.
Oh, I love Cameron Mitchell and his chubby fuck buddy. They were a hot couple.
Yeah.
And I would definitely put Aldo Ray into that mix and make it a throuple.
A throuple. Well, that's what in the sequel, his wife's ex-husband was going to be Jonathan Winters, which I can't even imagine. I would put Shelley Winters in it too, if she wears the outfit that she wore during the climactic scene of Tentacles, her Uncle Sam outfit. If she wore that for the entire movie, yes. I would put a subplot similar to The Visitor as well, where there would be some kind of space aliens, maybe Franco Nero in it. Her name is Cookie, yes. Oh, so much.
What feelings do Roth?
Mm-hmm. What did you say, Bill?
Oh, is the mic on?
Yeah, you were just a little soft there.
Oh, sorry. John, you've been quiet. So what feelings?
Geez. I don't know what to say. I think what I enjoyed most on this viewing was the ghoulish laughter every time the monks appeared on screen. It really sounded like stock sound effects for haunted house movies. I really, really love it. And the excessive use of stop motion, I think, is pretty hilarious.
Did you mean slow motion?
Oh yeah, slow motion. Sorry, it's late. I did mean slow motion. Can you imagine though? Like one thing Raw Force didn't have in it was stop motion.
It should have been.
Or motorcycle stunts. It really needed like a dirt bike jump.
They should have had a stop motion giant crab at least.
Oh my god.
Ooh, yeah.
I would like to see a Raw Force Goke Body Snatcher from Hell mashup as well.
I fucking love Gok.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Has a movie ever been such a relentless downer where it's
what
like
the hell? Yeah, absolutely.
It's like everybody in this movie is horrible except these two people, but guess what? They're doomed too. And it's all neon, and aliens create vaginas in your forehead that they slither out of.
It could happen.
What a great movie.
It could happen.
You don't know. You can't say that this couldn't happen because they're aliens.
I love that they're like, if we put some food coloring in the water and cut in some scenes from Piranha, people will believe that there were piranhas in the water. And I did. I'm right there. I'm like, yes, I believe it. Oh, I would also put a Giallo killer on the boat. So there would be kind of like a, like a subplot of like another killer on the boat. Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
Oh.
there should have been a little bit more in this plot.
This movie is like the pieces of karate movies. It has a bit of everything in it.
I just remember the part where the guy delivers the flying karate kick to the guy inside a van,
Yeah.
through the side window, the driver's side window. It doesn't even break, I don't think.
No.
And the guy's head is impacted still enough to make him crash the vehicle.
Oh.
Amazing.
Into animal violence too, because every movie needs just a little bit. With all
What
those,
animal violence?
there were
was there?
ducks that were in like wood crates that got knocked loose.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
If this
Now
was
you're
an
bumming me
Italian
out.
movie, they would have ripped a duck's head off and threw it at the camera.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. That's what you can tell this isn't Italian. One of the monks would have just geeked it. They would have just bit it and been like, ah.
They would have fed the wild animals LSD, and then
Yeah.
wild animals would have gone on a killing spree.
Yeah.
They would have made that special sound
Yeah.
that they made.
I think the bartender has the best crushed ice skill set ever. I'm just headbutting crushed ice. Also,
Whatever works.
J&B appearances. So it is a Jalo. Near, like, just why did anybody wear clothes in this movie? Because there's outside of Cameron Mitchell's jacket, I have to say, looked so comfortable. I would love to have that jacket because it looked like usually when someone's in a captain's jacket, it looks too tight. He looked like he had a lot of room in it, and I love that for him.
So this is totally off topic, but Bill, I want to make sure I say I really loved the video you created that played right before this last segment of all of the horror movie dance parties and dance sequences. So much fun. Thank you for throwing that together. The only one that I would have added is Dead Kids, because I love the random musical number in the middle of Dead Kids.
Oh, yeah.
There's always next week's show.
Yeah. I have a big crush on the evil doctor from Dead Kids. Yeah, I think she's wonderful. I would let her experiment on me as a young teenager. I know I'd die, but what a way to go. Like, put a needle right in my eye. I'm fine with it. That's fine.
This is a landmark moment because Nora Wallace hated this even more than Damnation Alley.
I know. We've got numerous puke emoticons.
Aw.
Nora, I think we've reached a new zenith on the program.
Yeah.
Nora said she's seen both of next week's movies because I would have thought that she would have hated Windows worse than this.
She didn't say if she liked it. She just said she saw it, Bill. So
yeah, but it couldn't be worse than this. Or maybe it could. I don't know.
I guess she's not going to be ready for that Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals, the Mummy theme park double feature that I've been begging Bill to play. Yeah. Bill said no one will watch this show if we pick this. Those are not at the same week. Maybe
not
separate,
both on the same week.
Not in the same week, because that's some pain that only I like. I like off-brand Mummy movies or my LSD. That's
Really?
what I want. Yeah, love them. The junkier, the better.
What are some of the other go-tos for you?
Oh man. What's the one, Bill? That's the zombie one that we showed.
Dawn of the Mummy.
Dawn of the Mummy. Yeah, 100%.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I'm trying to think what else of it. The Hammer one is good.
Well, that one's like legitimately good.
Yeah, but it's good. It's better than Awakening. We've talked about Awakening every week on the show, about how much we hate The Awakening. Yeah, those are kind of my go-tos. I like the later you get in the Universal Mummy cycle, the ones that no one likes, those are the ones I like, where it's like, what if there's just a swamp in New Orleans and they just drop mummies in it? Yeah, I love it. I'm totally into it. So, man.
Yeah, the next week's double feature was suggested by John Strikers. It's going to be his birthday.
Yeah. So that's this is his birthday present with both
numero
these
666.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited. I haven't seen either of next week's movies either, so this is exciting. I've been wanting to see Windows, so I am very excited about it.
I cannot wait until you see Windows because I really feel like you're going to love it. John, have you seen Windows?
I love it. It's wonderful. It's definitely a film more people need to see for so many reasons, including the queer content of it.
Yeah. It's interesting to there was much ballyhoo about it in the day when it came out. It was protested the same way Cruising was, and they were
Right.
both released right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, you know, that moment in time, because they were both released really close to the same year, right?
Yeah, they were both released 1980.
Right. Yeah. And 1980 probably wasn't the best time to tell those stories because, I mean, you know, they're very complicated and very complex. And I mean, I don't mind complex or flawed queer characters in entertainment, but at that point in time, I mean, it was just too easy, I think, for the public to conflate with all of the different things they were seeing on screen, like just queer people, killers. Oh, they're the same thing.
Yeah, that was also the same year as Dress to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Dress to Kill, that one doesn't age quite as well. I mean, I do think that it's a phenomenally well-made film. I mean, I adore Brian De Palma, but yeah, definitely less than a fully enlightened depiction of a trans person. Or is it even a trans person? It's somebody with multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
Like it's very
one of his personalities is a trans woman, but
yeah.
he's
Same
not
thing with Raising
trans.
Cain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're complex films, and I think that Windows and Cruising play a lot better today than they did then. But I don't know. I also kind of have a little bit of a soft spot. It sounds so weird to say, but I find a lot of the movies that are even more overtly queer panicky to be really fascinating. Like one of my favorite films of the 80s is The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
Oh, yeah.
That's very arguably a negative depiction of a queer person. But I don't know, like with that layer of trauma bonding or Stockholm syndrome and kind of like the affection that begins to be returned from the other side of that duo and kind of this cat and mouse chase. I don't know. It's really fascinating to me. And I enjoy it maybe more than I should. I don't know. Maybe because Rutger Hauer is just such a freaking great actor. And yeah, and there should be space in entertainment, I think, for queer villains. But again, like the best time for that probably wasn't the 80s because it was going to reinforce a lot of, you know.
That was just it. It seemed like a reaction more than anything else, or it was interpreted that way anyway by a certain segment of the queer population. That's all, because you know we had been through a few things, and there was no other kind of representation. We got tired of seeing ourselves as villains on the screen and like these sort of reviled characters who were unstable and attacking normal people like Talia Shire.
Yeah. Another really great one is Symptoms with the daughter of Donald Pleasance. Angela Pleasance, is that her name? Just kind of another great thriller with queer undertones. Could very, easily be interpreted as a negative depiction of queer affection. But I just find it fascinating in the way that it's done in that particular film.
It's another Jose Larraz mansion in the middle of nowhere. Something creepy's happening in it. No one's sure where the house is. Kind of movie, but she's
My
awesome.
favorite kind.
She's awesome in that movie, though. She's
So
really
good.
Yeah.
Like really, really good. And the other female lead is fantastic too. But Angela Pleasance does a great job of just playing an unhinged character like that.
Yeah. She's in one Amicus movie too. I can't remember which one she's in, where she shows up as his daughter. And I always wanted to see her in more stuff, especially after Symptoms, because I watched all like 10 of Laura's movies in a month, and like I was like, oh, I love all of them. Yeah.
It's a bummer that Symptoms wasn't a star-making performance for her, because it really should have been.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe she was more discerning in the movies she took than her father. She's like, I don't have to be in every movie. And her dad was like, what? A movie's being made? I'll be in it. He's like in so many. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, like, did you need to be him? We always talk about like Eric Roberts is that guy now, where it's like someone's making an independent movie somewhere in Buffalo, and Eric Roberts is like, where? And like he just runs up and shows up on the set, and he's in it, you know. But yeah, she's wonderful.
Another kind of going back to like early 80s queer representation, this one outside the horror genre. Have I told you my thoughts on Stephen Carrington and Dynasty?
No.
All right.
I love this.
So there's a season 1 storyline for Stephen Carrington. Like in the series premiere, he comes out to his dad as gay, and Blake Carrington is like, no, like this is not okay. And you know, all of these kind of heterosexual men around Stephen tried to turn him straight. And he winds up getting close to Claudia Blaisdell, who's Crystal's ex's current wife, who is just released from a psychiatric care facility after a mental breakdown. It's a beautifully compassionate depiction of mental illness. The characters of Stephen Carrington and Claudia Blaisdell at that point in time are so, I don't know, I love those characters. And the two of them are so kind of so wounded and so soft and so kind. And they start spending time together, and it becomes intimate. And I was shocked at how organic I felt it was, like for those two characters, and how on board I was with it. And when they sleep together for the first time, Claudia actually tells Stephen that he has a love that transcends gender. So it kind of becomes this story about somebody who's bisexual or pansexual. And I love that complexity and that nuance, and that it spoke so directly to it as Stephen, as, you know, still a queer person, but a different kind of queer person than they originally thought. But in the early 80s, the way the public would have received that storyline is, oh, Claudia was the one who could turn Stephen straight.
Yeah. Well, that seemed like it happened on a lot of shows, is when a character would be queer or perceived to be queer, they'd set, like Billy Crystal's character on Soap, suddenly they would have a love interest later on in the season. Or like there's the one Tony Randall sitcom he did where that's why it was almost off the air, because he was perceived as gay on the show, and they're like, oh, we need to get him a girlfriend on this show, or it just doesn't work. And it's, you know, today that would not be a problem.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We've definitely come a long way, and I hope that we continue on this path. Obviously, it's concerning the changing political tides, but it would take a lot of work to undo the progress we've made, and it's going to take a lot of work to, you know, make the additional progress that needs to happen. So
yeah, it's good that people are hopefully trying, though. I think what I always say is, and maybe it's a naive way of looking at things, but everybody's family has somebody in it. Do you know what I mean? That,
yeah,
whether gay or queer, you know, whatever, eventually that will be in your family, and you will have to understand it and make your peace with it. Hopefully.
Hopefully you will. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very naive way of looking at it, but you know,
I don't, well, I mean, no, I think it's, I don't know, a beautifully hopeful way of looking at it. And true that, I mean, just given how there is much greater acceptance, at least in the States, of queer and trans people than there's ever been before. More people are coming out, more people are living their authentic lives openly, and more people who are not queer or trans are going to realize that queer and trans people are in their family and have this direct experience with it that could change their minds.
Because I've noticed just in my life of people that were against things in the past, like once they may have never met somebody that's queer or trans, you know, or they may only know.
Don't think they did.
Yeah, or they don't think they did, or like they, you know, I know people that say, oh, well, like, you know, all these people that are coming. This is getting super political, sorry, but like, you know, that don't like a certain racial group, and it's like, yeah, because you've never met them, and like, and then once they meet them, like, oh, well, it's a totally. I only knew what I was told, so you know, that's my hope, that people remain some level of open-mindedness. I was raised by hippies, as you guys can tell by the way that yeah, you know.
I didn't know that about you. I've learned so much about you tonight, Sam.
Oh.
I never heard you call your parents hippies before.
I mean, I'll show you a picture of my mom when they got married. She had super long hair and giant glasses. My mom went out with Vinny Appice, Bill. You know that she was a hippie.
Okay, yeah, I guess she was a hippie.
Yeah.
Hey, so, the other day was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was.
Did you watch Blood Freak?
I didn't. I watched Amityville Turkey Day, though. I should have watched Blood Freak instead.
I thought we'd look at some Blood Freak ads.
Though I do love Body Shop. I'm excited to see Body Shop on that ad.
AKA Dr. Gore.
Dr. Gore, yeah. A kind of sort of Herschel Gordon Lewis adjacent movie. He did the introduction for the DVD when it came out.
That's a pretty good comparison, yeah. I have to say.
Yeah. It's junkier than Herschel Gordon Lewis, if that's possible. And I mean that in the nicest of ways.
Of course, this makes me think of Motley Crue with the Body Shop
and the Marble Arch. That's the only good thing they've ever done, is because they guaranteed free lap dances for the rest of their lives.
Here's a beautifully detailed ad for these two.
God, I love this Body Shop ad so much.
And vivid Eastman color. That's not on the posters. That was totally just a cutout that they slapped on top of the stock ad.
Brought to you by the same people who brought you Linda McCartney.
Oh,
the Eastman color.
Would you say that The Body Shop is the most terrifying movie ever made? Rated X, but not for sex, but something else. What could that be?
Oh, it's just something else. That's it. That's all they meant to say.
Oh my God. This is a great double feature.
Well, yeah, they were kind of a thing. Blood Freak did play with other movies, but initially, now The Body Shop had been out before. This was a reissue for The Body Shop, but this was Blood Freak's first go around.
I like that whoever did the logo for The Body Shop had no idea how perspective works, because it's like everything's
cool, though.
Yeah, there's no this is like the prison tattoo of movie logos.
It's disorienting.
I love it. Yeah.
Ooh, you've got your mummy movie there.
I do. Oh my God. Blood, Baron Blood. God damn it. Amazing.
A Blood-orama.
I like that they're like, hey, I know we cut the Blood from the Mummy's Tomb logo in half. Has anyone ever heard of kerning? No. Just move it a little closer. Can we just slide it? It's making me upset looking at it. Can we just slide them together a little bit? That space between them is rough.
It is. And kind of charming.
Yeah. I wonder if there were blood capsules passed out to the audience for this.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
There is one movie that they were. Let me see if I can find it on the site that I just wrote about this week. That you got blood when you came into the theater. I'm looking.
Literal blood.
You got blood capsules when you came into the theater to protect you. Let me see which movie.
Oh, that was one of those Dracula movies, I think.
Yeah, but another one did it too. It was, hopefully someone in the chat will say so.
Oh, you got Green Blood in The Mad Doctor of Blood Island.
Oh, well, you did. Yeah, you also. Oh, the Flesh Eaters. When you went to see the Flesh Eaters, you got only blood can stop the Flesh Eaters, so you're given instant blood capsules in case a flesh eater got loose in the theater.
Well, there you go.
And bit you. When it was released with Macumba Love as a double feature.
How do they avoid blood if they're going to eat your flesh? That's a good question.
But Radley Metzger edited that movie, and it was written by Arnold Drake, the creator of the Doom Patrol. How about that for the Flesh Eaters? I love the Flesh Eaters. I had never seen it, Bill, and it feels like a movie made for this show. It is ridiculous. If you hate beatniks, it's the movie for you, because that beatnik, I'm like, I hope he gets eaten. And he totally does. He just, it's great. You want to see what came in the mail this week, Bill?
Yeah.
And my favorite, really quickly though, my favorite beatniks in horror movies is the ones in Bucket of Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But what did you get, Sam?
I got, these two are from the new Anchor Bay. This is Crust, which I have not seen yet. I'm very excited about.
Is it a newer film?
Yeah, it's a newer film. It is from 2024. And it's got a really cool cast. Sean Whalen is in it. It's actually, he wrote it, and Daniel Roebuck's in it from the Rob Zombie films. It looks like it's about a guy who runs a laundromat, and he has a monster made of socks that kind of wants him to kill people. Old socks that are left over from the thing. And I had not seen this Jeff Daniel Phillips, speaking of Rob Zombie movies. This is Cursed in Baja, and this is another new Anchor Bay release, which is very exciting that Anchor Bay's back. Releasing all new movies, though. Not old stuff. Yeah. And Severance sent these two. These are came out earlier this year, but they're being re-released. Originally, they were only available on Severance website. Now they're available everywhere. And this is Deep Cuts, Dario Argento's Deep Cuts, which is
nice.
Yeah, his TV series. Have you seen this one, John?
Wait, no, these are like little snippets, right?
Yeah, and it also has the Door into Darkness 1973 anthology series.
Yes, that's what I'm familiar with.
Yeah, and the snippets are really great, and it has also the Dario Argento Master of Horror and the Dario Argento My Cinema. It has interviews with Anthony Perkins appears on his show, David Gilmour, Nick Mason, and Fury Argento. So it's all his TV shows on one set. It's really great.
I wonder, does it have? I haven't taken a close look at that one yet. Do you know if it has the televised fashion show that he directed?
No, it does not. I wish that it did.
It's really, really fun. You can find it on YouTube, though. Anyone who wants to check it out.
And then also they sent 2020 Texas Gladiators, which I love this movie. This is really great. The Severance set, and directed by Joe D'Amato, written by George Eastman. It's and it has some of my favorite people in it. Al Cliver's in it, and Peter Hooton, of course, from Night Killer, is in it. The man who eats fried chicken in Night Killer. But this is fried chicken, as he would say. But this is a great movie. So Severance sent both those. Those are available everywhere, like sites like Diabolic DVD, Amazon, as well as still Severin. And the Black Friday sale is still going on. If you haven't already spent all your money. I was very frugal this year. I bought like 4 movies so far. So I've been trying to chill, but it's hard.
Oh, it is so hard, isn't it?
When you see that, yeah, because I was trying to explain it I said to Becca, I said, I really want, like, Night Trains is out on, Blu-ray, and I said, I really want that. She's like, how many movies do you need? And the answer is all of them, right?
Yes.
And
silly question.
She's like, when are you going to watch all these movies? And I said, well, the idea that I can at any time is nice, right? But oh well. So anyway, I got Virus and Rats, which I had to get. As Bill said, you have to get those for me. And I also got the Lindsay Baker box set finally. Which, why didn't I own that? Who knows? So very excited, and I am super excited that there's a Hatchet Murders ad here, Bill, because I really enjoy the Hatchet Murders instead of Deep Red. That's how I would refer to it.
This is something from the Phoenix Papers from early 1981.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's
I like
just
that I met the movies to
Yeah.
repeat. Yeah.
in case not only are you going to faint, you just forget where you are.
Yeah.
What movie is The Creatures?
That is From Beyond the Grave.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. So both these movies are at least 7 years old, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what's
these are
the
both
is the Butcher
reissues.
the Love Butcher?
No, it's the Claude Chabrol film.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Wow, some artiness.
I know.
To end your night.
Can you believe it?
I've got both of the era sets of his movies, and I would love to be at the drive-in and be like, holy shit, at Claude Chabrol movies playing at the drive-in. Oh,
Davy Collins mentioned From Beyond the Grave earlier. Coincidence?
I love the type will rip you out of your seat. This ad's great.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
nice.
It's kind of austere.
Yeah.
The type. It's like for an SS movie. And then we have this, which is
Oh my God, yeah.
a much different represent. This is just like the little postage stamp version.
I love the I always love those squiggle borders for the Super Horrorama flyers. I totally use a squiggle border from one of the other ads I've seen you post, Bill. And I even use like a text version of the squiggle border as a divider, and a lot of the text I write for the posts I do on Facebook and Instagram. Big fan of the squiggle. The drive.
Yeah, me too.
That squiggle.
I have a squiggle overlay. I'll put it on when we go back on after the
Nice.
Oh, nice. Oh,
But there's so much more to show. This is pretty amazing. These were 2 weekends in a row. This is the first one. This was the first weekend in January 1981 in Phoenix. And
I would love to see Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary at the drive-in.
that was paired with Texas Chainsaw in theaters.
And it's such a weird movie. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's just strange. I'd like to play Mary, Mary with Messiah of Evil, because they're both like women avoiding and searching for their fathers at the same time.
That's a great double. I love that.
Yeah. Wow. This is a great night.
And Jack the Ripper, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got the earworm of screaming mad, such as Jack the Ripper song.
Sorry, I meant to do that. This was the very next weekend. You got not only 4 but 5 movies, and the very last one was Blood of Dracula's Castle, which was guaranteed to make everybody go home.
Yeah. But the children starting it off. I mean, come on.
I love The Children.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best films distributed by Troma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It wasn't even their movie.
Right. I mean, most of the best, quote, Troma movies are not the ones that they actually made themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
I also am a huge fan of Mother's Day. It's kind of a tonal mess, but in a way that really works somehow.
Did you see there's a new Garbage Pail Kids card that's a Mother's Day card for their horror ones? Yeah. It's wild.
Just that trio of like reunited sorority sisters, they're so incredibly endearing. Like I just adore those characters. And when bad shit happens to them, it hurts because you really care about them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like that movie so much. It's got a great world that it's built before the stuff happens.
Totally. And then also, I mean, it's not really related except by title, but the British film The Children from the aughts is really fantastic too.
Oh, is that the New Year's Eve one where
yeah, it's sort of like, it's kind of ambiguous if it's Christmas or New Year's.
Yeah.
I think it's between the two.
Yeah, it has a great ending too.
Oh, such a good ending.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about downbeat endings.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah. And just genuinely disturbing. It's like one of the scariest modern horror films that I feel I've seen.
Yeah, I agree.
The Velda Rose was hopping this night. Blood Mania in position number 4. Just absolutely stunning movie where nothing happens.
I feel like everybody needs a great aunt named Valderose. Wouldn't that be lovely?
I will sign that petition.
Wow, what a night.
Toolbox Murders was one movie I never saw until I saw Mike just mentioned he saw The Children at the drive-in for the first time, and that was the way to see it. I feel that way about Toolbox Murders because I had not seen it until I saw it.
That was one of my favorite movie experiences ever, watching it with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, we had such a good time watching it. Like, I came away like loving that movie. I was ambivalent about it, and I walked away like thinking this is one of the most fun times I've had at the movies. Oh my God.
Where to begin here?
What even is this conglomerate? Is this okay? Wait.
Mike Justice, I think, called it on one of the social media pages.
Is it what do you call Hatchet for the Honeymoon?
No, it's a movie we did on the show.
Oh.
And we also had as a guest one of the stars of the movie. And it was her first movie that she ever made, the first job she ever got. And she had to eat a can of Dinty Moore stew.
I don't know. What? I know who it was, but
her name was Jennifer Ashley.
I know it was Jennifer Ashley, but I can't remember what movie.
She was in the movie with. It also stars Andrew Prine.
Oh,
Terror Circus.
Terror Circus, yeah. Wow.
AKA Barn of the Naked Dead.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what the ad is from. The image is from, rather. The movie itself is, of course, Snapshot. An Australian thriller that's nothing like you see depicted here in the ad. There is no he to come home again, that's a really ballsy tagline.
I will say about Snapshot, if you want to see a movie where scuzzy dudes get it, that's the movie for you. Like, there's two different moments of like, holy shit, that guy got it in that movie. So yeah, it's not Halloween though.
Oh, it was in the script.
Yeah, it's not Halloween at all. Only the strongest survive. He's home again.
Only the strongest survive. Tina Turner's with us.
Yeah, we don't need another hero. Another squiggly border.
Anyway.
Yeah. That it was squiggly border night at the Driving Asylum double feature. If you have a squiggly border, you get in for 50 cents a carload all night long.
Don't give the house away. Only the driver gets in free.
Yeah.
There's some squiggly border.
This is also reminding me, have you ever seen the crafting video cassette about the rainbow sponge?
Oh, yeah.
No.
This woman who's just obsessed with the wiggles that she can make with her like highly absorbent sponge with different colors of ink. And she just keeps saying the word wiggles over and over again, like with pure ecstasy. It's great.
I found footage that has it in their live show.
Nice.
Yeah, and they have like a super cut of like a minute of her just orgasming over the sponge. They're just going, wow, wow.
It's really delightful. Like,
yeah, she's really into it. Yeah,
yeah, and I support her and her rainbow sponge.
That's the thing, is like it's so hard to be happy about stuff sometimes, and this sponge and paint makes her happier than anything's ever made me happy in my whole life. So I'm totally happy for her.
Yeah.
If that's her thing, I do believe she is entitled.
Yeah. She's got it. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, this was so lovely. It was, I don't know, just an absolute joy, as always, to hang out with the two of you.
You have to come back sooner than last time, though.
I would love to. I would really love to.
Yeah, we'll figure out a good double feature of movies, and we'll get it going. I'm very excited for your TV Christmas horror stuff that's coming up. Very exciting.
Yeah. I'm super
Davey said, "What do you guys think of Swamp of the Ravens?" I'm always dying to hear discussion on that.
I love me some Swamp of the Ravens.
Me too.
This is one I haven't seen.
Oh boy, yeah,
Oh, it's delicious.
yeah.
Especially there was like a nice fixed up version that was banging around there for a while. It was hard to find for many, many years. Well, the
Yeah.
miracle of the internet made
It's a
everything. But I think you had to.
title.
Yeah. And it only played like 2 theaters.
Yeah.
I've seen this poster before, but yeah, definitely have not seen the film. Such a
It's-
gorgeous poster.
It's better than Cindy the Swamp Boy, but what is? Isn't, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Someone said, "What would it take for us to do a triple feature?" We need to think of that. So Nora said so. Yeah. So
God, I'm barely awake right now. It's 3
Yeah.
a.m. Eastern time.
yeah. So
I couldn't imagine doing a third segment.
we'll
or
start.
a third movie.
Yeah. We'll start. Good.
Another question. So, like, kind of along the same lines. I would love for the two of you, if you're interested, to program some stuff at a cinema in Pittsburgh. Have you thought about it? And if so, like, what kinds of events would you do?
We've talked about it a number of times. I hate to even talk about it because now I feel like we talked about it years ago and we never did anything.
Oh no!
So
yeah, I would like to do it though. It's something that we have talked about. So yeah, we would like to do it.
Yay!
Yeah, at some point.
And like, if you're unfamiliar with I don't know, screening fees and distributors and stuff like that, I'd be happy to help in terms of like to locate who has the rights. If the two of you need any help with it, which you may not.
Oh no, that would be awesome.
our problem is like yours, finding a venue to do it. Because
It can be hard.
I've worked with some of the. I have done 2 shows before this, but I didn't handle any of the business end, so I'm not really sure of all that. But it's tough working with the theaters. You know, it's hard to get communication going with people where the event's happening. I don't know. I was a little disheartened by the whole experience, but I need a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Let's continue chatting about it, and
Okay.
I can share everything I've learned. Film programming can be really daunting when you're first getting started, because it is such an unfamiliar world with its own set of rules. But after you do it a few times, it gets a whole lot easier.
You've certainly been doing it for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years, or maybe even more. I'm not sure when you started.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember my first show. I want to say, I think it was in 2022. I'm trying to remember. Like, I still have just pandemic brain where time means nothing
Yeah.
anymore.
Me too.
But it's been like 3-ish years. Yeah. And yeah, distributors, I'll warn you, can be a little bit of a headache at times because sometimes screening fees are kind of high, and they don't adjust it based on the size of the venue. So if you're screening at a small theater, they're going to give you the same fee as they would at a bigger theater, which is hard when you have fewer tickets to sell. But I don't know, like you can find, usually films that kind of fulfill the same vision that you want to bring to the big screen, that are more affordable. But yeah, it's a process.
Well, thank you so much for doing the show with us tonight.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and thanks for sharing all your insight
Yeah.
and for choosing such a wonderful first film, See No Evil, which was the first time I ever saw it. So
Glad you enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Bill, thanks for everything you do as well. I appreciate it as always. So.
most welcome. Oh, thanks again to Frank Polvino too. for sponsoring this episode of the show. If you'd like to sponsor, just send a small amount of money to groovydoom@gmail.com via PayPal, and put your name in lights on the show. Give you many thanks. And we hope you come back next weekend for 2 fantastic films on the Drive-In Asylum double feature. Good night.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.